Hello and welcome to London360's UFest special.
For 7 days, the Olympic Park has been reimagined by a team of young people who have worked over the year to bring London its first ever youth-led festival, UFest.
In this show, we bring you the best bits, from swimming with music to the first ever London Youth Dance Championship.
To kick off our UFest special, politics and the youth came together.
They embraced one night of song, spoken word and debate to discuss the future of their young lives.
The Olympic Park plays host to the first UFest event, Taking the P, an effort to encourage young people in London to make their mark into the world of politics. We'll be finding out more about this event and the experiences of these young people.
Today's event we did debates and we watched drama performances where we got to think about certain issues that affect young people. So we looked at housing, mental illness, etc. And then we end up getting into groups to talk about the solutions, which will then get taken to politicians.
I work at City Hall. I'm manager for Children and Young People's Participation. And tonight's event was about capturing the views of young people across London with lots of different life experiences, but also getting them to come up with some solutions for some of the really big issues that young people are facing.
Music, spoken word and drama added to the conversation of politics being had on the night.
We try to address all the issues that young Londoners are facing. So things like youth crime, housing, education, mental health. We do that in different ways. Obviously today we did it in form of a play. So we had to come up with a situation that captured all the barriers that are there right now. One incident that's happened while he was out with his friends, he got stopped and searched, and another family member took it as he was about to get arrested, and obviously we watched his story unfold.
The young people present had strong thoughts on what they felt were the most important issues affecting young Londoners.
So everyone has their own opinion about topics like education and stuff, but it's a chance to get other people's points of view. Yeah. And once they put that across to you, you might start understanding where they're coming from, and it might change the way you think about it.
Why the government discriminates against under 25-year-olds when we are the future. We will basically, when they're old and grey, we're the ones that are going to make everything for everyone. But if you're going to take everything away from us before we have the chance, how is there going to be a future in this world?
Why do you think it's important to have something like Taking the P?
Because then everyone's able to have a voice and discuss matters like this, because people just go through the situation and feel like they're alone. But if we start from now and start discussing about it and then start practically making changes, then the next generation will be able to live more comfortably.
Young people are engaged in politics. They want to be listened to, but they're not provided with a voice. When they look at politics, they don't see themselves. And I think that's why young people don't look very engaged. But when an adult looks at politics, they can look on the television, see themselves, see their representatives.
It just needs to be sent out there to say, you know what, this is what's happening. What are you doing on your side? How are you raising awareness in your borough?
So I think everyone's affected by politics in some way, and I think it's important to recognise that. And then actually, if you don't like something, do something about it. Don't just complain, because people are listening to you, but you have to speak first.
At the Aquatic Centre, members of the public got to experience a swim with a twist.
And found out how live music was making a splash in the capital.
We had the Olympic Games, and now we're trying to start history with UFest.
Swimming with Music is a week-long series of performances taking place right here in the London Aquatic Centre. Students from the University of East London have been working hard over the last 7 weeks to put together original music which they'll be performing while the general public are swimming.
We have a selection of different artists and different musicians, different instruments that are coming in. We have some vibraphones and lots of drums and poetry, electronica, and then on Thursday we have lovely films and a selection of audiovisual material.
We got together about a month ago for the first time because these guys go to the University of East London and I'm a sort of guest collaborator who came in to work with these guys. We've just been developing our music through improvisation and just getting to know each other through our sound worlds. We're doing different types of improvisation. For example, sometimes we'd have a theme or a concept. No words, just through playing we planned what we're going to do today.
Raw emotion.
Yeah.
Did you notice like a change in the swimmers while you were playing?
Yeah, absolutely. The more dramatic sections probably encourage, faster heart rates, faster swimming, more excitement, and the more mellow stuff like Nicky's ambient guitar probably, had more sort of breaststroke type activity. I think it's just a really powerful emotional area. Obviously there's a lot of heritage here. Kind of feel the souls of your ancestors rising up through the ground to meet you. And it's really inspiring when you're writing music or even just improvising like we are today.
The best thing about this area is the sense of community and keeping stuff like the sports and the arts alive through various projects. And doing this here in this setting is obviously not only very unique and unusual, but it also feels very like an honour to be doing something so diverse and out there as well.
It's showing the world this immense creative body that we have in London, and it's important for young people to hear young people do work, actually. It's such a fantastic, fantastic building. There's so much activity going on as well, so when you are actually creating music, you kind of tend to create music to the activity that's actually going on in space. People have been coming, running up the steps and telling these artists that they've really enjoyed their work.
I love to do everything to music, and I think it's a good vibe, just gets you in your feelings.
I think it's very important, you keep active. I play sports, I think it's a very good thing to do.
A mixing of two worlds, making one community.
If you have a passion for fashion, then the podium was the place to be.
As two leading experts gave an exclusive insight into their industry.
Events like music, dance and comedy here at UFest, we caught up with two fashion experts to find out why it's so important to get young people involved into the fashion industry.
UFest, I think, is a really exciting opportunity to just open the door a little bit to some of the creative industries for young people, to help them get a better understanding of what goes on, what the opportunities are, and hopefully to inspire them to take part.
So how would you describe the current situation with the amount of opportunities that are out there for young people to get involved into the fashion industry?
There's kind of a habit for young people to think to get into the fashion industry, they need to be really good at sewing and they have to be a designer, when there are all these other opportunities. The fashion industry needs business minds, it needs lawyers. The industry doesn't need a million fashion designers, it needs a million fashion designers and a million people who are doing PR and a million everything else. But having said that, for young creatives getting into the fashion industry today, it is difficult. The tuition fee situation is obviously off-putting for lots of people, and it means that we don't have the diversity that we could do in the industry.
How do you plan on making it more accessible for young people wanting to get into the fashion industry?
So we're doing a lot of work at the moment to help develop things like apprenticeships, to raise money for scholarships, so that more and more young people will find that the fashion industry is more accessible and have hopefully brilliant careers in it.
I think UFest is unique in that it attracts and speaks to an audience, which is really important for the future. And in London, we can boast some of the most creative people in the world. It's such a diverse city. There's so many different people that come to the city to work and to create and to make things. And I think we have a reputation for outstanding kind of brains and minds and talent. So to be able to speak to these people in the early stages is really exciting.
But I think UFest is unique because it's, of course, based in East London, which is a really important part of our creative industries, and it's this melting hub of fashion designers and musicians and filmmakers and artists, and I think it's a real opportunity just to get these industries together and share their knowledge with a younger audience.
That's all for part 1. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up after the break, we have a captivating dance-off in the Aquatic Centre and a star-studded live concert. Welcome back to part 2 of our London360 UFest special.
Coming up, we have an exclusive freestyle from Lady Leisha, and Mandem on the Wall tell us why Beyonce is wrong about the world.
But first we head back to the Aquatic Centre, where the diving pool was emptied and the floor was raised as dance groups battled it out for the ultimate cash prize.
For one night only, the Olympic Park's Aquatic Centre is being transformed into a dance extravaganza as UFest plays host to London's official Youth Dance Championship.
Tonight's about bringing the youth and bringing dancers together in one park, the first of its kind London Dance Championships. First ever in the Olympic Park, making history. This is history. What you see now is history. It shows to the youth that yes, we can do something. If you put your mind towards it, you can do it. Anything's possible. Because dance brings together other cultures and it connects with the crowd, it connects with the people, and it's something people enjoy. And as it shows, the loudest cheer wins.
I think dance is equally as important because it's so universal, it's so accessible, and we all do it, we just do it to different degrees. And so I think the more it's shared and celebrated, the better. I think it's important to hold a youth competition, as you can't have an art form or anything without supporting those that are coming up. It will never work. You can't just be at the top, you have to have experience and knowledge, and it's so good experiencing it myself to be involved in youth events, because then by the time you're ready to go out into the real world, you are equipped with all the knowledge and you know what events are like and you're used to it and you're comfortable and you're just ready to go. And so many youth are just as ready as adults now, I think.
What are the biggest challenges for a dancer?
Sometimes it can be confidence, because the competition is very evident. A competition is, it's about keeping your confidence up and having faith in yourself and always knowing that you have something that's a little bit special that can always be brought to the table.
I think it's important to highlight how strong the youth are and show them what we're made of. Everyone thinks because we're so young and we're not going to take it so seriously and everything like that, and I think that's where this competition actually shows that youth actually helps the whole thing.
If there's talent out there, we need to be supporting it, especially in the youth, because if we don't do it, who else is going to do it? It's better than them doing something that they're not supposed to be doing.
The atmosphere is really good here. It's very lively. Everyone's all happy. Everyone's cheering. So yeah, it's really good.
Wow, this is incredible. 3 days of just dance, music, especially in East London as well, in the Olympic swimming pool. That's fantastic. It's really important because when you're at that age, it's just you want to try so many different things. You're into music and dance and rapping. These are the things that really get people to express themselves. You get so pent up sometimes in London and being young and you're a teenager, hormones. So yeah, doing this is just fantastic.
I'm supporting my dance crew, IMD, who are performing tonight, and I just wanted to give them as much support as I can.
I think it's about fun, everyone just coming together, having fun, everyone just getting to know other people and everything, yeah. Like a little festival.
Next up on our UFest special, we head over to the podium,
where young people were treated to brand new political comedy sketches from Mandem on the Wall.
Silence. I have arrived.
After yesterday's big event, we're in the copper box
section-wise, it was all hyped up. Today's just calm event, laugh it off to start the week again.
Here in the podium, young people are being given the opportunity to discuss politics with a hint of comedy.
My name is Javan Wade.
My name is D. Cartier.
And my name is Purcell Ascot. And collectively, we go by the name of Mandem on the Wall. We're doing a show called Mandem in the Court, which is basically a game sketch panel show. Sort of like, you know, Keith Lemon, Celebrity Juice, 8 out of 10 Cats. That's the kind of vibe we're going for. But with a story that the two guys here, Younger Baker, Younger Baby Tiny Whiny, have differences that they need to dispute. And the judge failure is trying to bring that all to a close.
Today is about actually bringing politics into this scenario where we can talk about politics but make it into a fun way, where we've used the game show format to do that. So I'm hoping that people will take away the conversations that are going to be heard from tonight's show and stuff.
I am the judge and you are the peasants. What? You can't be called in there with that. I mean, people. I am the judge, you are the people. That's how it's going to go. I was watching Judge Judy out there.
I'm not too involved in politics. I've always taken a step back from it because, I don't know, I'm not really that engaged in it. And I know a lot of people have been doing projects to try and get younger generations involved in politics, but I kind of take a step back because I know there's a lot of corruption involved and I don't really want to get my head in that mindset.
I feel like the engagement is a big problem, and I don't feel like that's a young person's fault. I feel like it's about how you engage that young person. I feel sometimes today's politics, we're quick to blame young people for not taking an interest, but it's about, you know, what other ways can we do, or what can we do just to engage that young person. So for example, today's event, something like this is a prime example, I should say, of how to do that, you know. And I feel like, you know, just making young people aware that politics is life.
UFest for me has been amazing. UFest gave younger people the opportunity to see their artists perform, and also it gave different opportunities such as dance competitions.
It's nice for young people to actually create these events because it actually attracts younger people, whereas if it was quite like an adult thing, you wouldn't really get a lot of young people involved in it, and I think young people actually creating these events makes them more fun.
This is to contradict a comment that Beyonce made, all right? She said, she asked who runs the world, all right? To which she replied, girls, yeah, women. I disagree. I think young people run the world. I think the choices that young people make dictate what happens eventually. They say what's cool, you know what I mean? And eventually everyone has to follow suit. So to be chosen by the young people, it's an honour.
Everyone make some noise if you think Tiny's got a speed. Hey, order! Shut up.
Before we wrap up our UFest special, we're over to the Copper Box to find out what happens when a basketball arena is transformed into an electrifying concert.
With some of the best of UK homegrown talent, it was a night to remember.
UFest's Cosign concert is bringing together some of the biggest music acts in the Olympic Park's Copper Box Arena. The headline acts have been specially chosen by the young people behind the event, which has also given young emerging artists the opportunity to perform live on stage.
Tonight is an event led by the youth, the first event led by youths. So we are doing something very big. It's really been something that has changed us as people and made us confident. There's many people that wasn't as confident but have come along the way and have gained a whole load of confidence, and I appreciate that.
I think it's a great way to get involved with the youth and other people your age, and it's such a good experience to get to know different people along the way.
And also it's nice to show that the youth can do something productive and positive for each other and just support each other really.
I'm lucky enough to be one of the Cosign winners for the competition, and yeah, I just played with the composers. It was wicked. There was a few stages where we had to vote and stuff, and I don't know how I managed to win, but I got loads of friends and families and kind of people to support my music to vote, and I was very lucky enough to be one of the 4 winners, led by youth. I mean, it feels like more of a privilege to play it when it's like that.
It's K-More, oh na na, na 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 na, aka the London Don, and right now I'm here because of the Cosign competition. I won that, very grateful to be here on the stage tonight, man. Since I've been here, I've been blown away how everyone is there to cater to you, very, very professional, everything's in order, they know what they're doing, it's amazing, man. I think it's a good look.
It was a really good experience, you know, some of them, this is like their first time performing
with a band, also like in front of a big audience. And you know, it really goes to show how much talent there is.
An event like this is great because it opens up people's minds to see the possibilities of what could happen when you put your talents to work in, and like just how you can maximize it and how you can inspire others just doing you.
Just the youth, you know, coming together, you know, just doing something positive. Like I think it kind of shows to the other youth, you know, that are coming tonight, saying like, whoa, like let's step away from this negative stuff we're doing. Let's be positive and, you know, let's put on something great. Apparently, like the youth, like wanted me to get involved. Like there's loads of like comedians, entertainers out there, but like for them to choose me, like it's a blessing, and I'm happy.
I think a lot of this society is taking away a lot of kids' rights to become dreamers. You know what I mean? Everyone's allowed to dream. If all their odds around them are quite small and negative, well, you can't really expect them to reach out. It's good to give back, you get me? With great power comes great responsibility.
It's nice to know that we are having an impact on the youth. You know what I mean? For them to ask for us to be one of the main acts is a blessing, isn't it?
You see the younger generation, they are actually the future. So for me, it's like, instead of having them on the streets and doing what they shouldn't be doing, let's get them into places like this where they can perform alongside their favourite artists or people that are actually making moves in the industry. So you need to calm down if you are a youth and you are doing bad things. Just calm down if you are a youth and you can perform by me. Ooh, get the back with people. Ooh, hey. You need to calm down. You need to calm down.
That's it for the UFest special. We hope you enjoyed the show. To find out more about any of the stories featured on today's show and to see what goes on behind the scenes here,
or to send in any suggestions you may have for future episodes, head to Twitter and tweet us at London_360.
remember, keep it 360.